What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Jolin and we back at it with another video. Now, if you watched my video the other day, you seen that I was talking about how Brandon from No Jumper was basically going at it with Pun from the community, basically saying if you don't think that I am who I am with the Jiu Jitsu, then you can come to the dojo and you can really see what time it is with me. Now, it didn't really slow down after that, you know what I mean? You got people commenting from everywhere, and in this particular instance, another jiu-jitsu, fighter basically called out Brandon and was like, look, I'm a lower belt than you, but I don't think you really a black belt. I think I'll beat your ass. So Brandon responded they was going back and forth, and I guess they had like a mutual person that they knew, and so all this time, like if you in the podcast space at least, you know that Brandon basically came from the Viral Way podcast. So he ended up calling Viral Way, which knew the dude, you feel me? His name is War Chief. I ain't never heard of this nigga. And so they basically like, yo, I want to get down with this nigga, but we gonna do it not in like a street fighting manner. They more so gonna do it in a jiu-jitsu. And like I said, Brandon told Pun, hey nigga, you can come to the dojo. You feel me? In this instance though, I guess the dude War Chief ended up having like what he said was a $40,000 home gym that he, practices and fights and stuff like that. And if Pun, or not Pun, but if Brandon was really about it, he can come up there and they can really get down. So I guess Brandon, he didn't, stray away from the fade. He was like, all right, I'll pull up. So I guess he pulls up and they're basically just in a garage. Now I seen the video and it was basically like a garage. I seen the mat, some bags and stuff, not bags, but like a little punching thing. And Brandon was basically standing with his back towards the car out of the garage and was basically shooting with his phone. Now, to me, I'm just like, I don't know why people gotta do, or at least Brandon, who's a fighter, has to do all of these, stipulations if he's gonna fight you, because just a few months ago when he was on that No Jumper podcast, we seen how quick he jumped up on Suspect and was ready to get down. You feel me? Then on the No Jumper stream, we seen when he was wrestling around with old dude, there was no stipulations. Now, I know they was just playing, but I'm just like, when he got there, he's saying, the gym is not, to the standards that I would have thought that a $40,000 gym would be. And I guess he didn't have the equipment. I guess a little girl was there and she gave a nigga a head guard and stuff like that. I'm just like, my nigga, you don't got your own gear that you could have brought, you know what I mean? And I guess he was like, you can come to the gym or the dojo that I be at. And the other dude was like, yeah, we can go there right now. And then it was like, it's too late, we can't really go into the gym like that. And I guess it was like a holiday or whatnot, so, they had some stuff going on at the gym. And of course, you can't just walk into anybody's dojo and stuff. They got practices and people that's really in there taking it serious. These ain't people that's going back and forth on YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that, going back and forth, setting up phase. These is people that's going in there to practice their craft. So Brandon was like, yo, mine is a more professional setting. Now, I came to yours, which I thought was a professional setting, but I'm not really seeing the professionalism in it. So when he busted out his camera, I guess dude, War Chief ended up slapping the phone out of his hand like, hey nigga, you trying to dox my house and show people where I'm at and have motherfuckers sliding through? Because one thing people gonna do is try to play with you. If you say you really about that and you fighting and stuff, people gonna really come and test you. Especially if you got a gym at your house, people gonna be really wanting to come up there and test you and really see what you about. So Brandon went on to his podcast basically just saying like, I don't really feel like Viral Way had my back, and I think that the dude didn't really have a professional setup to my standards, so I didn't really want to fight him because he can't really get on the ground. Now, when you on jiu-jitsu, you got to be able to get on the ground and grapple and do all of that stuff, and I guess it was like a cement floor he was worried about. He wanted to go somewhere where everything was padded, they could put on their guards. These niggas is talking about doing a 30-minute MMA scrap. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever been in a fight before, nigga, 30 minutes? 30 minutes of fighting somebody? A nigga like me, I might get you for a good 2.5 or maybe 100 seconds or something. But once we start swinging and throwing and grappling and kicking and elbowing and doing all of this WWF shit, nigga, ain't no way that a nigga's about to be fighting for no 30 minutes. But like I said, where was that same energy with Suspect? He was talking about, hey, I'll meet you at the motherfucking Marathon Burger. We can get down there. Or Suspect said he even texted him and was like, hey, I'm going to be at the Wendy's over here in the parking lot. Brandon said he was going to be there. He never pulled up. So it's just like, it's like he real selective with who he'll fight and who he'll get big on. Now, I'm not gonna say that I don't like the dude Brandon, because I do like him. I'm just like, but if you're promoting the black belt and doing all of that, I know that when you practice that kind of stuff, you have to have some kind of, like, you know, humbleness about you. You can't just be getting mad if a nigga say that you's a hoe and try to fight him with the jujitsu. You gotta practice, you know, patience and stuff with people. So I know he can't be out there doing all of the street fighting and shit, but you can't be popping it and then, you know, say how you beat a nigga ass on all the podcasts and don't know nigga up here, no podcaster want to see me. But then when niggas start calling you out, you got all of these stipulations. Oh, we gotta have protective headgear. Oh, we gotta have 32-ounce gloves. Oh, we gotta have our motherfucking geese on. Oh, the mat gotta be 3 times padded. We don't got time for all of that, especially if you pulling up to a nigga house and the nigga's getting disrespectful. You gotta use what you got. Like, if you out in the field, what you gonna do if a nigga just walk by and sock you in the stomach? You feel me? You don't got time to be like, hold on now, I gotta get my gi on. You can't do shit like that. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is Brandon starting to fall off? Do we need to see this nigga really get down? Because I feel like he been popping it long enough. There was suspect, then there was the incident where my nigga tripped. We ain't gonna call that a L, but we gonna say, hey, you tripped on there. And then there's this video, so I'm kind of wondering, like, what's up with Brandon? You feel me? Is you gonna get down or is you gonna lay down? Because if you lay down, you gonna stay down. You already know how that go. But yeah, man, I'm about to get out of here. So as always, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, because you know we got more on the way. And as always, you already know what it is and you know who it is. It's Jolin, it's Varsity. Peace.